The whole Pacific garbage patch is staged. The only picture I've seen that is actually of a huge patch of garbage in the ocean, and it says right under it, part of the Pacific garbage patch. But I looked at the photograph carefully and I could see mountains in the background. Well, there are no mountains in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So I did some research and found out that this was the debris from the tsunami in Japan that killed 20,000 people while it washed whole towns into the ocean. So they were taking advantage of the death of 20,000 people from the tsunami to blame plastic for this.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This guy thinks it doesn't exist because that one picture he found wasn't of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Yeah, I agree. That picture is not of that because it is very close to either that was close to an island or I don't think it was, or that was a misattributed picture. But just because there's one picture that's misattributed, somebody saw that and maybe thought that was, the garbage patch when it wasn't. That doesn't mean the garbage patch doesn't exist. And you can go online and you can find pictures of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It exists. People study it. It's a real thing, phenomenon. A lot of it, of course, a lot of the mass of it is underwater, so you can't necessarily see it easily from above. Although it's the mostly the bits of plastic which are buoyant, which float on top of the surface that you can see. And there's plenty of pictures and video of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's a real thing. People have estimated its size. We have used satellite imagery to map out basically its extent. It's pretty darn big. And it's not a mystery where it's coming from. There are garbage streams, that flow out to the ocean, and we can sort of calculate how much plastic we're producing and where it all ends up, how much ends up in landfills, how much gets incinerated, how much of it winds up in the ocean, and a lot of it is there. So it is a very real thing. One of the biggest components of it is actually discarded fishing nets, which produces a huge problem for marine life, and because that's kind of what gets them trapped in the garbage patch. And so that's one piece to this puzzle that there may be a way to deal with it just through regulation and enforcement. Just don't throw old fishing nets into the ocean. And we definitely need to figure out what to do with our garbage streams so they don't wind up in the ocean. And there are efforts underway to try to remove 90% or so of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch by 2040. We'll see how if that effort succeeds. It is underway, but it's a real thing. It's not a hoax. It's not people just saying, showing one fake picture and pretending that it's real based upon that. This guy needed to spend just a little bit more time on Google before he jumped on and made that video.